Welcome back to Valkenswaard. Welcome back to a very, very dramatic afternoon. The sun has burst out over the southern parts of the Netherlands, and it certainly is shining on Harry Smolders. It's also shining on the very, very large audience that's here on the grandstand that's just out of sight, by the way. You can even see over my shoulder there by the giant screen. People, in fact, the crowd has gotten so big that they're starting to surround the arena. That's how popular today's show has been. And to have then a local Dutchman win here today, like Michael van der Vleuten did back in 2019, like Sanatosa did back, I think, in 2023. This is a wonderful home story for the Netherlands, for Harry Smolders and for Monaco, who now, like they did earlier on this year, already wins yet another LGCT Grand Prix. Harry Smolders already had a golden ticket in the bag, was already going to Prague to compete in the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Now it's 2 victories in the season. Harry Smolders and Monaco starting to impress more and more. This is the result, the final results from Valkenswaard 2025. Harry Smolders in first. Heartbreak for Nicola Philippaerts and Katanga in second. But let's take a moment to reflect on what that third place victory for Gilles Thomas means for the championship. Not only does Gilles Thomas finish in third, not only does he take home a huge amount of points, but his closest rival on the championship table in Simon de Lestre did not qualify, which means he took 0 points out of Valkenswaard. It's much the same that we saw out of London. Simon de Lestre did not qualify in London. Gilles will look very, very good in the overall rankings that get updated by the end of the afternoon. We'll show you that a little bit later on as well. But I believe it was close to 40-odd points that Gilles was clear. Now it's going to extend even further. Harry Smolders, Nicola Philippaerts and Gilles Thomas on the podium in a 1, 2, 3. Andreas Schouw and Christian Koekkoek, by the way, take nothing away from him. If you recall, in London, we spoke to Christian Koekkoek. He said that he wants to try and target the second half of the season to get some real championship momentum. We know that we're heading to Riesenbeck in a couple of weeks' time. He will target that show as well for major points. So Christian Koekkoek continues to impress and continues to get some championship points. Let's show you then the round of Nicola Philippaerts under pressure to try and beat the time set by Harry Smolders. This is what the Belgian rider and Katanga did. Because Harry was so quick at 41.05, there was no opportunity for Nicola Philippaerts to be conservative in any space. In that first sector, he was ahead. Second split timing coming in and around 23 odd seconds. That's about to come there. He falls slightly behind the pace, although he did look and feel as if he was quicker on the ground. Here he tries to take a stride out, gets too forward, and unfortunately that fence in the combination goes down. Then, knowing that unfortunately the title had been lost, putting a little more aggression into it and having a second fence down, Nicola Philippaerts and Katanga finish on 8. And it means that he then is unable to beat Harry Smolders. There again, we see it after trying to be ultra aggressive, removing a stride. And sadly for Katanga, that fence, that rail going down, that sees him finish in second place. I'm looking forward to hearing from Gilles Thomas in a few moments' time, the man who finishes third on the podium, and I wonder how much he would have felt that that was a surprise. So often we see with these jump-offs, if there's 5, 6, 7 riders in a jump-off, you can jump a double clear in an LGCT Grand Prix and not even get onto the podium. Here, Gilles Thomas knocks the fence down and somehow still makes it onto the podium, still gets major championship points, and continues to be the favourites for the overall title, the overall championship win come the end of the season. Let's hear from Gilles Thomas. Rosie Turner is standing by with your championship leader.
Well, Gilles, it was an incredibly tough competition today. You came out in third spot again, another podium. How pleased are you?
Yeah, I'm very pleased, especially that I did it with Calista. She's only 9. Okay, I was already second in the qualifiers, so I could go at the end of the class in the Grand Prix. And I knew there were only 2 clears, so I had already a plan to ride a smooth round. Because if I would have one down, then I would go a bit faster for my time, because yeah, there were only 2 clears and then was only one after me, so maybe with one down you can be on the podium. And at the end, I was unfortunately one down, but at the end, I'm also happy that I'm still on the podium with that.
Not only are you still on the podium, but you're still top of the championship as well. It's podium after podium for you. Is this your main focus now? This is your goal?
Yes, a little bit. That was also why I was thinking already to ride a smooth round this round, because if I would have one down, then I would still score a lot of points for the overall championship. And then, unfortunately I had one down on fence number 10, but then the last few lines I tried to do it very quick. And mine was also natural, very quick, so that helped today.
Well, Gilles, we'll let you go because I know the presentation's about to start. Huge congratulations, another podium, well done.
Thank you.
Quite remarkable for Gilles Thomas. He now is starting to admit openly that this is the main priority, that an LGCT championship win is his main priority. And he is very close, by the way. If it were to work out, we would have to really start counting down the months to see whether or not Gilles Thomas is the youngest ever LGCT season champion. Because if I think back to the mid-2000s with Scott Brash, I beg your pardon. Scott Brash, around about 2016, 2017, when he won his LGCT title, he was also around 26, 27, 28 years of age, kind of where Gilles Thomas finds himself now. So are we on the verge of potentially the youngest ever, or at least somewhat of a record equaling youngest ever LGCT champion in Gilles Thomas? We would have to do the maths on that. I know Scott Brash was young back in those 2016, 17 times, but this has seemingly become a generational run for Gilles Thomas, who, as we pointed out, continues to lead. We'll give you the exact numbers by the end of the afternoon, but he will be increasing and increasing and increasing that lead as we head into Riesenbach and the shows that follow in September and October. We are standing by waiting for the podium to be completed, by the way. I see it is up and running. The photographers are getting into position. That means that the top three riders in Gilles Thomas, Nicola Philippots and Harry Smolders, will be coming out in a few moments' time. Let's get some thoughts and some reaction, by the way, from Rosie Turner and see if she can wrap it up for us before we get to the podium. Rosie, a truly remarkable day. We've seen some LGCT Grand Prix with no jump-offs like we saw back with Edwina Tops-Alexander in Madrid. We've seen perhaps one or two. Monaco comes to mind with Ines Jolie and with Max Kuna, but this becomes such a rarity nowadays that it really, really stands out. What an outstanding, strange, weird, beautiful Grand Prix we watched here today.
Yeah, I think all of those words definitely apply to today. And also, I think a lot of people would think that when you've only got two in the jump-off, that they might take it easy and just try and go clear. But actually, when there are only two in the jump-off, you have to put pressure on the person coming in after you. And that's exactly what Harry Smolders did with Monaco today. We know Monaco can be quick, but Nicola's horse can equally be quick. So almost Harry had a lot of pressure on him to make sure that he made some pressure as well for Nicola. But I think also for the crowd here, it's been wonderful to see so many people here today, and all the local riders are on the podium, and it's lovely to see so many people sticking around to make sure that they can watch their home favourites here in Valkenswaard do the lap of honour as well. But it's been an extraordinary day, Mark. As we were going through the list, I was going, surely we're going to have a few more clears, and it was just those occasional mistakes that we saw. Quite dramatic as well as a Grand Prix, but we wouldn't expect anything less from an LGCT Grand Prix as well. But I believe the presentation is about to begin, Mark, so I will hand it straight back to you.
He'd like to be back there again.
Yes, thank you very much, Rosie. We appreciate the insight. More from you to come as well. As you can see, that celebration about to get underway. The top three riders are in the ring. Let's head back inside for the official prize-giving ceremony.
Competition. And Harry's going to take home a sizable chunk of that. Monaco takes up his position between the two wings.
Representing Longines, Judith Venin, brand manager. Mr. Jan Tops, founder and president of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Hennis van Himbergen on behalf of
everybody just taking position now.
Here in Valkenswaard, and Dennis Monticulo on behalf of Global Champions. Our riders able to dismount, of course, because they're all accompanied by the wonderful grooms of our sport. And this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to make a huge amount of noise to represent and recognise the huge work behind the scenes.
This new initiative whereby the riders use the podium. It's great for the grooms as well. We're just mentioning there, John's out in the main arena and everybody giving the grooms a nice round of applause. They work so hard there in the background, the caretakers of these extraordinary equine athletes. They look after them so well, and normally will come with a number of horses. Here's a young man who's just flying in our sport. He's a superstar. We've seen him competing at the highest level across the world, and now he steps up on the podium and takes that third place. Nicola Philipparts, he's on the second step. Gilles must be really delighted with Calista DN. It's only a 9-year-old by Emmer van Hupschoff. So the 9-year-old up against the 2 older horses. But here's our winner. Harry Smolder steps up onto the podium with the applause of the crowd. What a well-deserved. First man in, he cracked the code, and then he was foot perfect in the jump off. Everybody's staying in position here now. So we'll take a moment now. The first formality will be the national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody stands.
Congratulations, Harry. We'll start our presentation
the crowd.
Our third place trophy. Dennis Monticulo on behalf of Global Champions will present our third place finisher and congratulate our podium finishing riders.
On behalf of Global Champions Tour, presenting the third place prize. So Gilles Thomas in receipt of a little trophy. He's still going to wear that armband. He gets to bring that home this weekend. He's well out in front on that 35 points ahead of everybody else.
Second place to be presented by Ellis van Himbergen on behalf of Longines International Arena with his golden ticket in hand as well.
She's going to present
Belgium, Nicola
Philipparts along with his golden ticket for the playoffs and finals. He's going to be delighted with that. Disappointed he's not on the top step, but it's a proper, really good day's work.
The winner's watch on behalf of title sponsor and official timekeeper Longines will be presented by Judith Menon, and of course this goes for the second time
Judith
this
Menon
season
comes up with the Longines watch on behalf of the Longines sponsors. Such a huge part of the LGCT. Beautiful timepiece. Add to his collection.
Founder and president of the Longines Global Champions Tour, master of Valkenswaard, Olympian, Olympic gold medalist.
Now, the final man to present the trophy, our founder, our show president, and the master of Valkenswaard, delighted to hand it over to his countryman.
Days like this will always make Harry think that he was right not to take that
day to be remembered. Harry's first win here in Valkenswaard. He's won a number of these LGCT competitions in the past, but now he'll savour this one, definitely. Now, photographs taken. Everybody needs to abandon ship fairly quickly. This is when the fun starts. Let's see who's the quickest to pop the champagne. Nicola's on the move. He's got it first. Harry's just a little bit stuck. Nicola was the quickest with the champagne. And the lads know what to do. They're enjoying themselves. Yeah. And look, they're proper sportsmen. They appreciate the competition, they appreciate each other, and they respect each other for what they've achieved today. Three outstanding performances, actually a lot of outstanding. We've seen some fantastic horses on display today. Two older horses, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and then Gilles with a young 9-year-old. We saw a few 9-year-olds put on some foot-perfect performances here. A couple of the older guys came in then as well and showed their experience, but it's been a fantastic afternoon. Yeah, there's a smile, that says it all. Thumbs up. Now back on your horse, we're going to have a lap of honour. Ground jury will be out there, the cameramen are out there, so pop back up on Monaco and just give him,
lots more sporting action,
let him enjoy the experience.
Major competition arenas here at Longines Tops International Arena.
Yeah, big smiles, a lot of fun.
Two-star Grand Prix coming up next, another jump ball format class.
And it's going to smell a little bit different tomorrow with all the champagne.
The 10th stage.
Yeah, give that horse a pat, well deserved. What a great partnership. You can see the connection between horse and rider.
We'll know our series champion when we touch down in Riyadh as our 15th and final stage in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, we just need to get everybody legged up now and we'll get the lap of honour.
League Super Cup final and the Longines Global Champions Super Grand Prix.
There's our second place. Katanga, a 15-year-old mare by Carnento. Foot perfect in the first round.
They have all won legs of this series. They've all won.
Harry's going to lead them off.
They all know the way, but they're all aboard, and it's time for Harry Smulders to take them around.
Wiping the champagne off his face.
It is lap of honour time.
Now here we go. Everybody's going to enjoy this. Nobody more than Harry. It's been an absolutely fantastic afternoon. Sport has lived up to all the expectations and all the hype. We've had some brilliant sport here for the day. I hope you've enjoyed this. From me, Tom Frayne, and all the team, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Harry Smulders, Nicolas Philippard, Gilles Thomas, your top three here today in Valkenswaard. More yet down here. David and Helen. More. One more time. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Smulders.
What an afternoon for Harry Smulders. What an afternoon for the Netherlands here in Valkenswaard. The fans still cheering as the lap of honour continues. Harry Smulders will come up in a few moments' time and have a chat to us. I will tell you as well, by the way, I've just seen the new updated overall rankings. We'll give that to you a little bit later. I'm going to keep you in suspense for now. I have just seen the new overall rankings. And Gilles Thomas is looking like a very, very good bet for an LGCT champion in 2025. Shall we show it to you now? Shall we take you out of your misery and show you where Gilles Thomas is? Let's do that. If you recall, it was Gilles Thomas and Simon de Lestro 1 and 2. Because of Simon's failure to qualify here today, Andreas Schouw and Christian Kukuk have now made up ground. But let me do the maths for you. The difference between 173 in Andreas Schouw and 241 in Gilles Thomas, the calculator on my iPhone tells me, I certainly wouldn't be able to work it out. My phone tells me that is a 68-point difference. Gilles Thomas has a 68-point lead at the top of the LGCT overall rankings. However, Christian Kukuk, look at him creeping up. I remind you that he said to us that he is dedicating the back half of the season for a championship run. Other than Gilles Thomas, he is the highest averaging points per stage rider on tour. That means the more that Christian Kukuk rides, the closer and closer he is going to get to those around him. But Gilles Thomas, despite having a fence down today, scores a podium finish, finishes in third, and with that now opens up a 68 point lead over Andreas Skau in second place. Michael van der Vleuten now in fifth. Scott Brash, already a two-time LGCT winner here this season, now in sixth. Peter de Vos, Natalie Dean, Sophie Hinners, and look at that, lo and behold, our 2024 defending LGCT champion and Max Kuna now makes an appearance inside the top 10. That is how the table is starting to shape up ahead of Riesenbach in 2 weeks' time. You love the dynamics of the returning champion coming into the top 10. You love the dynamic of Christian Kukuk, who lost the title to Max Kuna, now knocking on the door. That dynamic of Simon de Lestre losing ground. The dynamic of Simon de Lestre now moving further up, while Gilles Thomas opens up a huge gap. All of these storylines will be discussed and further analyzed the deeper and deeper we go into the rest of the season. The good news for Nicola Philipparts, he may not win here today, but with Harry Smolders already having secured a golden ticket to the LGCT Super Grand Prix, it means that the golden ticket to Prague goes to Nicola Philipparts. He now will be one of the new riders to compete at the LGC Super Grand Prix. What does that mean then for the rest? Let's remind you from Doha. If you recall, Bonnie Ami and Abdel Said at the start of the season going on to win and book the first spot in that LGCT Super Grand Prix. Emanuele Camele in Mexico City was the second rider to do so. Then there were two. Quickly, that became three. Scott Brash, I've told you about the season that he is having. There he was going on to win in Shanghai early on in the season. Yoli Mitleneo. What a surprise result that was for her and for the world in Madrid, winning and picking up her golden ticket in Spain. We move on to Harry Smolders. Well, that was it in Cannes. In the French Riviera, Harry Smolders and Cannes going on to get that golden ticket in the bag. Ken Farrington doing very well in Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, the American, securing his golden ticket there. Gilles Thomas in Paris, the current LGCT leader, getting his ticket under the Eiffel Tower on the Champ de Mars in Paris. Simon de Lestre, who has now fallen away ever so slightly, will still be competing at the Super Grand Prix with his golden ticket being secured in Monaco. That leads us to Christian Kukuk in the previous stage in London. Christian Kukuk and Checker in that once-in-a-lifetime jump-off, defeating Ben Mayer. And that brings us to the point now of Nicola Philipparts going on to get his golden ticket here in Valkenswaard, thanks only to the fact that Harry Smolders has already secured his. So because of that, it gets passed down. Floss Bish-Jones from Global Champions now escorting Harry Smolders and his trophy up to the studio. We will have the Dutchman here for the second time this season, by the way, after having won in Cannes. We will have Harry Smolders make his way into the studio. That is, in fact, just underneath us. There is the warm-up arena, just over the shoulder of Harry Smolders, walking through the crowd. Everyone now starting to enjoy the hospitality suites. They're going to come up a flight of stairs, do a hard turn back to the right. It's very good work from the cameraman, by the way. That is agile up those stairs. There's Harry Smolders taking that hard right. He will now walk through the main entrance here in the Spider. He's going to walk up another 2 flights of stairs as well, by the way. So high is our advantage here, so high is our position. There's the Spider, the famous Spider at the Longines Tops International Arena. We are right at the top of that. That's where we're going. That's it. So that is just below us down there. That's where Harry Smolders is coming from now. He's going to go 2 more flights of stairs. He's going to come up just over my right shoulder, and then he's going to make his way here into the studio, put that trophy down on this table and talk to us about a remarkable season that him and Monaco are starting to have. And one of the points that I want to ask him, after talking to him, after that Cannes victory, Harry Smolders, who is now here. Let me get a microphone for Harry Smolders. Thank you, Floss Bish-Jones. Excellent delivery. Jonge. Harry Smolders, thank you very much for joining us. This is for you, my friend. Did you enjoy it so much after Cannes you thought you'd try it again and come visit me?
Yeah, of course, no. Can't get enough of that feeling.
Harry Smolders, what I remember most is I spoke to you after that victory, and you said to me that from here on in, I will let Monaco decide everything. I asked you, what does the season look like? What does the planning look like? What is the LGCT Super Grand Prix? You said to me, whoa, Monaco will decide.
Yeah.
What did Monaco say to you building up to this week that made you think now's the time to come back and shoot for this again?
He said to me, I'm ready.
Yeah?
No,
How was the build up to this week?
yeah, like I left the European Championships also to peak here. Not so very often anymore in his career. I can peak here for home crowd, for this area I'm born. I wanted to plan a little bit in the direction of this Grand Prix of the GCT. Like 3 weeks ago, I was here for the 4-star, just a little bit to get routine in the ring again, to show him the fences again. He ended also up second. I played around 2 days. In the Grand Prix, he was a second, so feeling was good. Strength was there, rhythm was good. So 2 weeks quiet. And this week, already from the beginning of the week, I felt him sharp on it, physically totally ready, mindset was good, focus was super. And then on Friday, we had a fault, but I also didn't really try, you know. I went just smooth, not super casual, because you still need to qualify. You couldn't there left a lot of gap, because with 2 down, you were out, or 1 down too slow, you were out for the Grand Prix. But then, yeah, the setup was super, and then today everything came together again.
Let's talk about today, because that looked tough. I mean, the 2 out of 40 will tell us that this was really tough. What was it about that first round that became so tricky?
Yeah, like with the course walk, I told him already, like it's in the beginning of the course, it's very delicate with the bike and the plank. Then in the middle of the course, I think started from the black ox, a big scope test, the double, the triple combination. And then at the end, the last 2 fences, very technical, you know, half distance towards the end, really on an angle. So there was no time pressure, so it must say something about the toughness of the course.
That brings us into that second round, the jump-off. Now, only you and Nicola. Everyone talks about going later in the jump-off is always an advantage. We know this. People were saying to me, what Harry needs to do here is really put the pressure on, because if there was a fence or 2 down, Nicola could canter his way around. How aggressive did you feel you had to be? Because you couldn't hand it to him. So did you in Monaco say, I would rather lose it in pushing than go slow here, because you had to put him on his toes?
Yeah, but it's not that he is like he's 16 years old. He knows how the game works. He is super slick. You know, he doesn't mess around in any turn. If I have a few turns, I can stay so tight. He knows exactly what is coming. But it's not that I can leave a lot of leave-outs, you know, anymore. So I have to plan it. I have to be myself, really on top of it. But then, you know, when you already look to the right, he turns already. Yeah. And that is, I think, I also had a very smooth jump-off. Like every distance showed up very, very easily for me.
And there was a beautiful balance of patience and aggression. It looked as if you were never over-committing, but it looked very smooth.
Exactly. That's my job to do, you know, to put him in easy positions as possible, without too many leave-outs, but also without any extra in the turn. There is where I put the pressure on Nicola.
You talk about coming to Valkenswaard, jumping in front of the home crowd on purpose. The final fence in round 1 is here next to the grandstand. The final fence of the jump-off here by the grandstand. It's a wonderful story when it works, because everyone here is cheering for the local boy and Harry Smolders. It's got to be pressure when you're jumping in front of fans like this, because you don't want to disappoint. Everyone wants to see the local Dutchman win.
Of course, but it also, like, I have a super experienced horse, the best horse of my career.
Is he the horse of your lifetime?
I have also several really outstanding horses. So, but he is probably the smartest and, you know, the most intelligent. And at the end, he had a beautiful career, I must say, with his clear round percentage and the consistency that he put already for years. That is, I think, what makes him so special.
So talk to us about the upcoming couple of stages now. We're enjoying having you here. We're loving seeing you come around. You told me again, I will listen to Monaco. Yeah. What does the next few weeks look like? There are a couple shows still left in the season before the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Do we see you again?
Yeah, probably you will see me again. Maybe I take it a few weeks quiet, then see how he recovers, how I still need to rebuild again. Maybe Vienna, maybe Rome. But he will tell me. I'm not You know, I don't push myself. I want to be there. I want to go there. He will tell me, okay, let's go. I'm feeling good. Let's go to another show, or stay patient and wait till he tells me again.
Okay.
I would like to go to Super Grand Prix with him.
You are going to, I have no doubt. Is he going to be the one that you decide?
Yeah,
It must be an obvious choice, no?
He is my best horse, so when he tells me he's ready for it, he will go.
I believe there is a social media question that I now need to find for you. Social media question that we will try and see. I don't see my... there we are. What is the best memory with this horse? Oh, that's tough.
Too many.
That's tough.
So many good memories. I mean, how many times he has been second in his whole career, and then since last year he won his first five-star Grand Prix.
And now they've just started to follow like dominoes.
And now he win Valkenswaard on a 16-year-old age. It's like wine that's, you know, only getting better with aging. And I hope that this lasts forever. I know it doesn't, but you want to keep this feeling forever.
Yeah. Who is the first person that you call when you win the LGCT Grand Prix?
I didn't call anybody.
No? I'm sure the phone has 100 messages waiting for you.
My whole family, my friends, family is here. My whole team is here.
Yeah.
So they are very supportive, and without a super team and family, it's impossible anyway.
Hey, it's time for the beertje. Well done, Harry Smolders. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. The LGCT Grand Prix champion of Valkenswaard 2025. What a season this is turning out to be for Harry Smolders, who will now, of course, return in particular for the LGCT Super Grand Prix. What a season this has been. And we head off to Riesebeck in a few moments' time. I believe there's some thoughts as well from Nicola Philippaerts, the man who finishes on the podium in second place. We heard from Gilles Thomas. Let's hear from Nicola Philippaerts.
Nicola, what an incredible LGCT Grand Prix that was. Just two of you in the jump-off. Harry really put some pressure on you there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think for sure Harry and Monaco is one of the best combinations in the world, and we tried to give it a go. We got a fall and a double in the last one, but I'm very happy. I'm very delighted how she jumped. She jumped great, and I'm still happy with the second place.
It's a fantastic thing to be back on the podium again, and of course you've now got your golden ticket to the LGCT Super Grand Prix.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very happy we can go to Prague. It's a fantastic event, but I'm very happy that Katanga jumped great. Okay, we didn't win. We always like to win, but she jumped great, and she feels very good. So
I've had to pull you away from everyone wanting to take pictures from you. To be a local rider here, does it make it extra special?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm only living 30 minutes away. We have a lot of people coming and watch here, and it's like a home show for us. You know, I'm very happy, and she jumped great. I came here with my best horse. She jumped great, and it's a fantastic atmosphere here in Valkenswaard, and I love competing here.
We can feel it as a crowd with the atmosphere. What is it like going in for you? It's silent when you start going, and the cheers that go up at the end.
I mean, as a rider, it gives something extra, you know. If you can go in the ring like that for a jump off with that much atmosphere, you try to do something extra. I think it's a fantastic event, and I cannot be more delighted how it went today.
Huge congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
On the face of Nicola Philippaerts tells you two things. One, he is delighted with an LGCT Grand Prix podium. And two, he knows now that golden ticket is his, and he will be at the LGCT Super Grand Prix in Prague later on this year at the GC Playoffs, the biggest ticket on the Longines Global Champions Tour stage. Only the best of the best, the champions of the season, come together to compete in what we call the LGCT Super Grand Prix. And Nicola Philippaerts has now stamped his passport off to Prague later on this year. What a stunning week this has been in Valkenswaard in the south of the Netherlands. The weather has played ball. The show jumping has been world class, and we hope that you stay with us for the next stage as we head just over the border to Germany. We head off to Riesenbeck for stage 11, and we hope to see you there. From the south of the Netherlands, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in Germany soon. Bye-bye.